Ethan stared at the blackened fragment pulsing in his palm. It was small but alive, beating slowly like a dying star refusing to fade. He dropped it instinctively, but the fragment clung to his skin, merging into his flesh. A jolt of searing cold shot up his arm, freezing the breath in his lungs. The girl in white appeared again, her face grave. "You carry its echo now," she whispered. "It will try to take you." The ground beneath him shifted. The peaceful morning dissolved into a swirling storm of darkness. The trees bent backward. The air grew thick and foul. A new figure emerged from the shadows. A tall, twisted creature with a crown of thorns and empty, hollow eyes. Not the master. Something older, something worse. The heart was only a door, it hissed, voice rattling like dead leaves. "You opened it, Ethan." The creature stretched out a long skeletal hand. Ethan felt his strength draining, memories flickering like dying embers. But deep inside, something fought back. The flame, the memory of who he was. He clenched his fists, willing the light to rise. The girl stepped forward, reaching into the folds of her tattered dress. She pulled out a small mirror, old, cracked but shining faintly. "Use this," she said urgently. "It shows what they truly are." Ethan snatched the mirror and turned it toward the creature. In the reflection, it wasn't a god or a demon. It was fear itself, a shapeless, writhing mass made of screams and regrets. The creature shrieked, recoiling as if burned. Seizing the moment, Ethan stumbled forward, thrusting the mirror into the creature's chest. There was a sound, not a roar, not a scream, but a deep, deafening silence. The world bent inward. The skies cracked open. The ground split into a bottomless abyss. The creature collapsed into dust. But the fragment in Ethan's hand pulsed faster, harder and fighting to survive. The girl knelt beside him, her voice barely audible over the chaos. "You must finish it," she said. "Seal the echo, or become it." Before Ethan could speak, the ground crumbled beneath him and he was swallowed by darkness once more. He awoke lying in a field of ash. Above him, the sky was a swirling canvas of grey and black. No sun, no stars, only a single distant light, flickering weakly. The girl was gone. The mirror lay cracked at his side, and deep within his chest, Ethan felt the final battle waiting. The true curse was not in the house, not in the box, not even in the master. It was inside him now, waiting to be decided. Days passed, or was it weeks? Ethan wandered through a world that felt less real with each step. The forest had grown quieter, emptier, as if even nature was holding its breath. He had destroyed the heart, shattered the monolith, but he could still feel it. Something was wrong. At night, in his dreams, he heard whispers, new ones. Not the cries of trapped souls, but something colder, hungrier. The battle wasn't over, it was inside him now. One evening, as the blood-red sun sank below the trees, Ethan stood by a still black lake. The surface reflected nothing, not the sky, not him. He reached into his pocket out of habit, but there was nothing left, no lighter, no charm. Just the empty weight of everything he had lost. Behind him, the little girl appeared once more. But she wasn't smiling this time. "You ended the curse," she said softly, "but the vessel must be sealed." Ethan turned, heart pounding. "What do you mean?" "You burned the heart," she whispered, her voice trembling. "But its echo lives in you." Suddenly the world darkened. The trees twisted into clawed hands. The ground split open, and from the chasm poured shadows. Familiar faces twisted into new horrors. The forgotten ones. The master. The ancient evil he thought he had destroyed. They circled Ethan, whispering, laughing. "You are one of us now," they hissed. "Come home." The little girl's eyes filled with tears. "There's only one way, Ethan. You must choose." Behind him, the lake, calm, still, endless. Before him, the shadows awaiting, welcoming. Ethan's fists clenched. He remembered his father's hands, strong, warm. His mother's laughter, a bright melody. He remembered himself. He would not be their vessel, not today. With steady steps, Ethan walked toward the lake. The shadows shrieked in rage. The ground cracked, the air howled but he didn't stop. At the water's edge, he paused only once. Looking up at the darkening sky, he whispered, "I am not yours," and he stepped into the black water. Instantly the world screamed, a sound of pure hatred. The lake swallowed him whole, pulling him down deeper into silence. But as he sank, a light flared from within him, small at first, then blinding. The darkness fought back, clawing at him, but it was too late. Ethan's light spread through the water, through the earth, through the sky. The shadows dissolved, howling in defeat. The ancient evil was sealed forever. The lake calmed, the forest sighed, reborn. And above the water, for the first time in centuries, the stars appeared, brilliant and endless. The villagers found the clearing days later. Where the cursed house had once stood, there was only wild grass and a single white flower blooming at the center. No one ever spoke of the haunted woods again. The land healed. The evil slept. And sometimes on clear nights, if you stood by the lake and listened closely, you could hear a soft,